looks good. That's a good taco. That looks good.
Get the mochi.
Yeah.
Mochi.
Let's eat.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andy Lunique, and this is Mixed Plate. I have with me Munition, who's diligently cutting limes, and I've essentially gotten started on a dish that I consider to be special. And if you're joining us for the first time, Mixed Plate is a show all about making food, telling stories, and connecting with folks.
Should we be chopping them?
No, you're good. You did.
Okay, great.
I have my use. You got yours. You're in good shape, I promise. So for today's episode, we're going to be speaking about a good amount of dishes that I custom made for you. I hope you're impressed by them because I am absolutely terrified of my own work. But most importantly, you get to build a lot of these today. And my absolute final goal at the end of the day is you take at least one of these home and make them yourself. And if you take that, I'll die happy.
Perfect.
So what we were doing is I got the citrus together mostly because we're going to be essentially getting ready to do some final shots with it. So I figured get this out the way first.
Yeah.
But what we're gonna be doing is 3 dishes. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So the first dish that we're gonna be doing today, okay, is, as we were speaking a little bit ago and you were very, very upfront about how you feel about certain things, I was very happy to get your responses. We're gonna be doing a dish that you spoke to me about that reminds you a little bit more of what your mother made for you. And that dankatsu, if I say it correctly, is that correct?
Tonkatsu?
Yeah.
That's how I say it. I don't know if that's right.
Don't worry, chat will correct us. So essentially that's going to be a Korean-inspired pork cutlet. We're gonna slam some things, we're gonna bang it out a little bit, but instead of the the artichoke sauce that you were accustomed to, I think it was artichoke soup is what you mentioned, right?
Yeah, I don't know how she made it, but that's kind of what I remember.
So I decided to take it in another direction. I decided to go with a pesto, which I think you've made before.
Yeah, and I love pesto.
We're gonna be doing a spinach pesto with garlic. Instead of pine nuts, we're gonna go with almonds, and then we're gonna doing an artichoke salad right over the top of that cutlet. So it's gonna be like a really big zing of flavor, and hopefully something that kind of evolves the dish that you remember when you were younger. And I do hope that you like that one a lot. The pork is of great quality. There's gonna be a little bit of fat we can just snip and sneak a taste, and we get to use the deep fat fryer, and submerging things in hot oil should be fun. So the pesto that you've made in the past, have you gone the mortar and pestle route, or have you gone with the mixer that we're gonna use today?
Food processor route, yeah.
Okay, so we don't need to be like faithful and old and use this at all?
I'm here to learn from you, so if you think that that's better, then I'm ready.
Respect to the old ways, no. It's not. It makes no difference at all.
Better, okay.
I just, there are people in the world who spent billions in research and done so many things to make sure that we have all these fantastic technologies. There's absolutely no reason to move the needle back, in my opinion. There's some things that are better the old ways, but that's just my opinion. I hope I'm not being rude to older chefs. So that's our first dish. But our second dish, I'm gonna trade with you. Thank you kindly. Our second dish today is going to be something that you talked to me about, and I feel like I was super excited to hear it because it is what I would call hard mode. So we're gonna be doing strawberry Fraser cake today. So
yes.
If you know, have you actually researched the cake? I imagine you've had it, but.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if the whole idea and the reason that I brought it up in the meetings that we had before was that, so my partner is from France, and she's from like the food capital of the world, as she likes to remind me. I know you're watching. And so her favorite cake is the fraisier cake.
Fraisier.
Fraisier, yeah.
Fraisier.
It's hard to say. I'm probably even saying it wrong, so she'll correct me later.
Keep that in mind.
But I've tried looking it up before, but in a lot of places they'll just make like a vanilla cake and they put some strawberries on it and they're like, oh, it's a strawberry French cake, you know?
Yeah, they call it shortcake, right?
Right, and it's not technically correct, and so I would really love to learn how to make it like properly so that for her birthday or whatever, I can make her a good, semi-authentic cake.
I think that is a brilliant thing to hear because that's what my aim is.
Right.
The idea is to allow us to build the difficult parts for you because really it's all about prep. Like that cake is 2 days worth of just doing all the other stuff and then we're gonna be going through the build.
Okay.
So essentially the idea is you get to taste the Pasteur Cream that we created. I have a orange scented and strawberry reduction simple syrup to use. We have the sponge and we have a couple decorations and you get to take that home. Okay. And now that you have that like root sample, then you get to to go home and make it.
Right.
So we kind of wanted to take away the more strenuous parts away from it, but figured for time that we wanted to actually let you take home a cake instead of a bunch of random ingredients.
Right.
Though, if you do want to take home a bunch of random ingredients, we'll also let you do that. It's
Yeah.
up to you. I mean, I can change the show any way we want. So let me know. And then the final dish, and this is where I'm hoping to impress you.
Okay.
This is going to be my take on a mix of Italy meets Korea. And the idea is bulgogi-inspired duck confit with fresh pasta.
Wow.
And I essentially am going to finish that off with a little bit of a yuzu pepper.
Okay.
So the idea of that dish is because, as you mentioned, you wanted to learn how to make a couple things. I think making fresh pasta is one of the most exciting, fun things to do. However, this particular dish is something that I felt was taking things a step above. I'm not calling it fusion, I don't want to be stabbed, but taking things a step above, but also incorporating some of the things that you really enjoyed now, and hopefully those are still some foods you're excited about.
Yeah, that all sounds really great.
Okay,
Yes,
you get to eat it later. It's not one of those things.
Yeah,
that just,
I'm
torture
already
you.
am like starving now. You're mentioning all these things.
I'll be honest.
Okay, Andy,
if
like,
you,
let's get to the
yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, I'll tell you this right now though. If you feel like snacking on things, I don't care if you walk around. You can you're free to do this. This is now your kitchen.
This raw pork, I can.
Yeah, just take a season and just take a bite of that. But I do not want you to feel like you have to stay here. I don't care what you do. This is now your kitchen, and I'm going to teach you as much as I can. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our pork prepared. Okay. So have you done the breading method before? You've breaded flour, egg wash.
Once or twice, yes.
Once or twice.
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have the breading station here, and I'm going to allow you to completely destroy the pork. Pound the pork.
Okay.
Alrighty. So I'm going to take this here. So our first ingredients are our flour, our eggs, that is just mixed with a little bit of water. I'm going to add a touch of salt because we're going to season in layers, and then panko breadcrumbs.
Okay,
Which
great.
you're familiar with?
Yes.
Awesome. So that's going to give us our nice crisp bite. Really basic and simple, but we're going to keep on seasoning. Go ahead and grab one of your pork cutlets. Okay. And do we have our slammer thingy? Okay. So open that package up. And if you'd rather use gloves for this, it's up to you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Those are my gloves, Chef.
These are your gloves. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Why not? I'll feel like a doctor of pork.
Dr. Pork?
Yeah.
Dr. Swine Doctor? No, that sounds bad. I'm not.
Oh, that sounds like a plague doctor.
Yeah, with the nose and the
swine
entire bridge.
doctor, yeah.
It sounds like fun.
Okay, great.
So since you're using gloves, I will use them as well. And once you pound that pork, I'm going to put it away, and we're going to move right to the pesto. Does that make sense?
Do you want me to take the plastic away or to do it on there?
Well, actually, it's funny because here's the thing with this part, okay? You have the ability to pound through the plastic if you'd like to, and it actually keeps it a little bit more malleable, or you can go right directly to the meat. I always keep it covered in the plastic, so the way you'd go about it is, Andy, you idiot, essentially, and it's a little bit loose, so it has room to expand.
Oh, okay.
Just like that.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Oh, yeah, alrighty. Now, here's what we're gonna do for this particular part, okay? I want you to think about some of the most frustrating moments in Tarkov, okay? And I really want you to trust me with this, but no, we're okay. Alrighty? I want you to think about them and tell the chat what those particular moments are, and for every single time, just make sure it's pounded out.
Okay, but I'm not supposed to swear, so I don't know how.
I would
Do
say,
you guys have like a bleep button ready?
if you have the button, if not, find your balance and go for it.
Okay, all right.
Go.
Did I get a stance? All right.
Just go for it.
Desync. Cheaters. Bad audio. God. Okay, how much do you want me to?
You got 3 more good
I
whacks
got a lot
in
of
you.
anger.
Yeah, I think we might get more pork. So 3 more good
All
whacks.
right, great. Oh, that one's. It's
Yeah, we're gonna
it's
cut
going away. We have destroyed it.
Yeah, I didn't think you had that much in you.
It's the best game I've ever played.
Yeah, I'm proud that you are such a strong, diligent, and patient individual in that game.
God.
I got destroyed the first time and uninstalled.
It builds up, and then I can take it out on the pork cutlet. So.
I'm sorry, that was really awesome. So I'm gonna take this away. Do we have more pork or no?
This other one.
Yeah? Okay.
Did I destroy it too much?
No,
Was
I think
that
it's in
too
good
much
shape.
Anger? Okay,
No, I
great.
totally screwed the order of operations, so they're totally panicking right now, so that's my fault.
Like all our preparation was for nothing.
Oh yeah, it was just all over the place, and of course I'll just go with it. Bring that board over. We're just gonna cut it. We're gonna rinse them both later and drop that there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure that's I'm gonna keep that here. I'm gonna rip this off because that's just fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we gonna pound this other one over?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah? Okay.
Great.
I'm gonna let you do that one more
Okay,
time.
Rainbow Six Siege is next.
Oh. Okay. Oh no, you can pound it on top of that
okay,
board.
great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We're just gonna wash them all. It's all good.
Okay.
Siege. What? Siege is like 8 years old now at this point?
Yeah, I think we're going on.
Jeez. I remember the beta days, and I remember being part of like that early access piece that was sure that we're still gonna get a single player story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk
Yeah.
about that. So,
Oops.
what do you hate about? No, that's not the right way. The frustrating parts of
Yeah.
Siege.
It's a lot of the same things, unfortunately. You know, it's just the same old story.
Disconnects. How about new operators?
Cheaters. There's too many operators. I gotta learn them all.
Are you
old
team
now,
100
man.
operators or no?
I'm a boomer now, man. I can't remember all that. They've all got. There's somebody who he like shoots bees or something. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
It's
There's
too much.
Is that real?
I don't know.
Please say
That
that's
was-
real. I'll
There's some
download
new
now.
character, and all I saw in the advertisement was like mechanical bees, and I was just like, you know what? Back in my day, we had hammers, there's just grenades and normal stuff.
I do miss the days of Lord Tatanka. Yes, that is good. Yeah,
Perfect.
I'm just getting mesmerized. You're in
Yeah.
good shape. So we have our pork cutlets pounded.
Great.
We're going to season them, let that salt kind of sit for a little bit, and then work on our pesto. But since I totally screwed up the order of operations, I'm going to just move this board out of the way, and we'll make the pesto right here.
I was gonna throw Perfect.
Because I'm so smart and do things in the right order. So essentially, if I may, should I bring this to you or can I bring it over here?
Oh, you can bring it.
Yeah, here you go. Thank you. Yeah, that works right here. And it's safe and out of the way. Okay, so now our pesto. You said you made pesto before, same way,
Yes.
right? Okay, if you can remove your gloves, and I'm probably just gonna say, just for safety reasons, wash your hands. On this side, yeah, go ahead and wash, and I'll prepare everything here for just a little bit.
Is this soap
Yes, it is.
or hand soaps down here?
Yeah, other one's up to you. So then, really quick, are you guys good if I stay here? Because I totally messed up? Okay, good. As long as you're happy and not angry
We'll
at
make it
Andy.
work, man. We got you.
You got it. Appreciate that. Thank you. You really do love this thing.
You
I
didn't
understand.
have to improvise.
Improvisation is one of my strongest points, especially when it comes to food. Alrighty, coming over here.
Great.
So I'll switch with you on this side. So this particular pesto is gonna come out a bit chunkier. There's gonna be more bites.
Okay.
It's not gonna be pure sauce. It's gonna be almost chutney. So I wanna make it sure that it's kind of part of an incorporated salad. So whenever you're taking a bite, you get all of those notes. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes.
Nice. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let you take every step of this process.
Okay.
So the first thing you do is take yourself about half a cup, eyeball it, of avocado oil.
Oh.
And you're gonna make your base. Because that way, when it decides to start spinning, it doesn't become this pasty situation on the bottom.
Okay. Can you tell me when to stop? Because
Absolutely.
I think
Stop.
That's
Yep, that's half a cup.
Great.
You're doing great, I promise. So now we're gonna take a layer of the garlic, just dump that right in.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
You measure garlic with your heart.
Perfect.
And now,
Heart says more.
oh, even more garlic?
No. We're good. I'm joking.
I don't mind. One big pinch of spinach. Okay, and then stuff it down in there. You ever make spinach pesto, or do you usually use basil?
Basil. Yeah.
Yeah, I like arugula myself. One more big pinch.
Okay.
Okay, and now the salt. Do you have one of these salt containers at home?
Yes, we do.
Magnetic, yeah?
It's not. No.
Ah, well,
How much is that?
we're gonna talk about pinches. Alrighty? When I say a pinch of salt, Andy's pinch is dead wrong. You should never listen to me, and
Okay.
you should go with yours. Because when I say a pinch of salt,
That is not a pinch.
so once again, this is the Andy pinch.
That was not a pinch. That was like you were just like. That was like a Godzilla pinch. Like the people of Tokyo are running in fear.
That's what I mean when I say Andy's pinch.
Okay.
Therefore, ignore me. So you got that pinch of salt in there. Now do your pinch.
Okay.
There you go. Now it's enough salt. We're gonna taste it for sure. And now we're gonna put one more layer of the avocado oil.
Okay.
Right?
Is this a regular human layer or is this an Andy
regular,
layer?
yeah,
Okay,
human layer of it, right? There we go. So now everything should come together nicely, and let's finish up with, I'm going to say, half of those slivered almonds.
Great.
And the reason I eyeball pesto is because I'm always feeling different moods. There you go. I prefer these to pine nuts because pine nuts are annoyingly expensive and unnecessary.
That's
Alrighty.
true. They are quite.
Are you ready to push the button?
Yes.
Alrighty, twist and push.
On the top?
Yeah,
that's the button?
This button's
This is
right
the
there.
button.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice. And let's stop there. So I think at this stage, we're gonna add a little bit more spinach and then more avocado oil.
Okay.
And it's gonna be that nice green chutney, saucy kind of mix that we want.
Nope.
A little bit more,
Good.
a little bit more. Yeah, that's good, okay. And then we're in good shape there. One more grind and we're in good shape. Stop. Okay, I'm gonna give you your tasting spoons, and I would love to hear your thoughts, because whether or not it needs more salt, it's meant to be really intense.
That is very salty.
Good.
Very salty.
It's meant to be all the way up there, because then we drag it back down with the artichokes.
Okay.
It's a compliment to the pork, but yes, it is just like kick you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like I just, like a deer, I had like a salt lick, you know, one of those blocks.
So now I know what your level is. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, you would never just eat a bowl of this unless you're, well,
Right.
strange. But normally, if you were to make a dish, pasta-wise, you'd probably just put like a tablespoon. Yeah, I'm
Just gonna have, this is totally unrelated to that, but I'm gonna drink some water now.
You will never offend me, I promise. that your reaction is very sound, I assure you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you would kindly and carefully, actually, I'm going to just move this blade first. Just scoop this into this bowl, and now
Okay.
we have our sauce on the side, and we'll get back to that later. And we get to go right into the breading of the pork cutlet. I get to give you another pair of gloves.
Okay.
Can I have another pair of gloves? Because yeah. So this kind of cooking, when you do it at home, is there this much instruction, this much noise? Is it faster, slower?
Yeah, I would say I'm usually doing, you know, a lot of things. I feel like most times when you're cooking in the kitchen, you're doing a lot of stuff all at the same time, you know, so this kind of thing, like I would probably have my partner do the pesto because she has strong feelings about the pesto and all the you know, tastes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's better at it than I am, I think, so.
Have you ever played games while cooking?
Play games while cooking?
Yeah, I've had my Switch in the kitchen, mobile. And you ever done that before?
No.
It's
No, we'll put something on the TV and I'll just like, you know, cook while we have TV on, but I can't imagine, I wash my hands so much when I'm cooking that I can't imagine being like, let me play on my, you know, console and then cook
That's
at the
fair.
same time. It seems like too much.
Thank you very much for that. So now the breading method. We're gonna use the wet hand, dry hand method. It's really simple. I have my gloves. Where are her gloves?
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Thank
Genshin
you.
is a great game for cooking whilst playing. I agree with that. I actually find myself using games like gacha-esque or like card games where I know I have 5 minutes.
Oh.
I would use that as a timer, but I
okay.
don't recommend it at all.
Great.
Okay, so we're gonna switch places.
Okay.
Okay. And our finishing plate, I'm just gonna put it right back here, okay? Just so we're clear. So, your left hand is going to be your dry ingredients. Your right hand will be your wet ingredients.
Okay.
So, very simply put, I'm gonna quickly just season the pork. Does your partner happen to get on you about seasoning rules or no?
No.
Okay. Because I'm always big about making sure you go high.
So that it spreads out.
That is correct. See, very few people actually know that. Fob. I went with the light layer because we're going to be seasoning in layers over and over again.
Okay.
But you know, now I'm thinking about it actually, I would like to add a little bit of seasoning to the flour. Just a second. Remember that smoked paprika from earlier?
Yes.
We're going to add that in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
That was my fault.
That disappeared into an abyss. That
Indeed.
literally ceased to exist.
You see the tiny whisk in front right there?
Yes.
Yes, you get tiny whisk, and I'm just gonna put that much there. That's gonna add a nice aromatic afterwards. And I promise I'll find your lid. Thank you kindly.
I get money from Amazon.
That. Excellent. Alrighty, so we're getting going here. So now, we're going to start with your left hand. Take your pork into your left hand, place it inside of the flour. Right on. Okay. And then of course, you know the rest of the process here. One thing I'll coach you on is essentially when you're pulling the pork from the flour, remove as much excess flour as you possibly can to make sure it sticks to the actual
flip it
egg.
over.
Yeah. So while you're getting that done, I know that we talked about this is a dish inspired by your mom making a dish that was not quite as similar, but a little bit more home. What was it like cooking? What was it like for you when it came up to remaking some of those older dishes?
I mean, my mom did. She did. Well, should I switch hands? Is that?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So dust off the rest of that flour. More aggressively. More aggressively. Yeah. You want to get it all off, right? And then just dunk that right into the egg, and you can let it go.
With my left hand still.
Yeah, you let it go in your left
just,
hand.
Like, drop
Yep. And now your right hand picks it up.
Oh, okay. I see. Great.
That's the wet hand.
Yeah.
So, yep.
All right.
And then you'll just do this.
Okay.
I use my right hand, and then you use your left hand to coat. And I will show you a quick demo.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, do you recreate any recipes from, childhood, anything from memory, even like your old sandwiches, things that you would make on your own?
I tried to. So here's one funny thing is that my grandmother, she would make these little what we called cinnamon rolls. They were like little tiny, doughy cinnamon sugar things, and she would make them just for holidays. Whenever she would make a pie, you would have like excess crust left over, so that she would put like this little mixture on it and roll it up. And she swore she invented it, right? Like she made that. And then I was like,
the inventor of cinnamon rolls in your house.
Yeah. And so then I was like, I was looking up recipes where I was like, I want to make something similar to that. But I went to a bakery in Oakland, and they had my grandmother's cinnamon rolls that they were selling them, and I was like, no way.
She really made it, didn't she?
Yeah. And so then
More aggressively, just.
I just feel like it's gonna like fall apart in my hands.
Trust me, you can handle it.
And so then I realized that it's actually something called rugula, and it's like
R-U.
Yeah, R-U-G-E-L-A-C-H.
Rugula.
And it's actually like a Polish Jewish dessert. And so I learned how to make that, and now for holidays, I make that for my family, and that's like a new tradition that I've started. But it's so funny because she made rugula, like that was her. She made the cinnamon rolls.
Now, are you sure there's not some like underground circuit that she had and she really did invent that? No, I'm just kidding. But now that kind of dish feels like it can transcend generations, and you making your own tradition, and you make this every year, you said.
Yeah, I start making it for like Thanksgiving and Christmas time.
So is it a hit, I imagine, if you're making it every year?
Yeah. It's a lot of work. It's one of those things that you have to...
Actually, one more coat.
One more? Okay.
Yeah, you want to get it really in there. And please continue, I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. It's just one of those things that it's like you have to make the dough in advance and like chill it and make sure that, you give it enough time. So it is a lot of work, but they're very good.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind trying that.
Yeah.
Rugula. Chat, if you have recommendations for rugula or any other types of, I'd say, alternate versions.
Yeah.
I'd probably say I'd love to know
There's
about
lots of different, I make it with cranberry and walnut and like cinnamon sugar. Some people use raisins, but I really love cranberry. And Callie, I will absolutely send you some. You got it.
I feel like that would be a
I will
blast.
make you a special batch.
So we're all done with the breading process,
Great.
okay? So I'm going to clean this up. You can wash your hands, do what you gotta do. I will do the same just in case. And what we're gonna be doing is, the camera doesn't quite fit over there. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna ask Zach to get his really sexy cool cam over here.
Sexy cool cam.
Yeah, the one that like moves and gets all the action shots. And we're gonna fry the hell out of this pork, okay? Oh, thank you for doing that. Alrighty, now, hold on, where is he? We're gonna wait for you to come over. You coming over?
You keep working.
Yeah? Okay, we're gonna bring the cam over to you folks so you can actually see how this all works.
Another camera till this gets here. You're on
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here, they're gonna clean this all up and make sure it's
okay.
sanitized well. So we're gonna be over here, alrighty?
Okay.
So a deep fat fry you've never actually used
No.
before? No? Okay, so if you wanna get a little bit closer, this is actually pretty fun. This is the one that actually auto filters all of your oil. So
Okay.
once it's done, let's just say it's cooled down, it takes all of the impurities and all the stuff that was floating in it afterwards, strains it to the bottom. I have never seen this before until yesterday.
Okay.
It is amazing. So if you ever get a fryer, this is the one. Right now the oil's at 350.
Okay.
We want it to cook internally to 145. And the idea is you use 350 instead of 375 is because you'll brown those breadcrumbs way too fast.
Okay.
So this is gonna be really quick. So I'm gonna toss the first one in, and I would love to see you toss the second one in.
Oh, hi.
Hi, whoa, hi. Go right ahead.
Do I just do it at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And just lay it right in there. And you're gonna see it slowly start to come up. But the idea is, if you saw all of that oil immediately just go, right?
Right.
It's gonna be raw in the middle, burn on the outside.
Yeah.
So I usually try to pan fry these, and you can toss that right in the sink, they'll take care of it. Yeah, and they won't take our tongs. I try to pan fry these if I can, because I'm in much more control. But if you see the thermometer that I hid behind you, grab that off the wall,
Okay.
and we're gonna do a quick temperature check.
Okay.
Do you ever do this, do you ever take this step in the kitchen to use thermometers, or?
Yes, I don't know how this. Oh, I see. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work if it doesn't have a little needle. But
It just it's funny because I actually broke that off the first time I opened. It was just one of those bad habits. But yeah, it's starting to really bubble. All the juices are coming out. It's gonna be great. However, my one rule of thumb is when it comes to cooking any kind of meat, what you don't want to do is immediately stab at the moment it comes out, because all of that carryover cooking, the residual heat's still there,
Right.
and then all those juices come out from the poking.
okay.
So yeah, so this is going pretty well. Do you eat a lot of fried food?
I definitely don't fry my food at home. I've never used one of these before, so.
Would this be a bit much in your kitchen?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I feel like with kitchens, you just end up having so many things. Like we're already, I've got the Instant Pot and the rice cooker, and then we've got an air fryer that we have not taken out of the box. So it's like, just
Was
like,
it a gift?
No. Well, actually, yes, it was a gift.
Oh, okay.
And I want to use it, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just and then where do you put it after that?
Yep. I would say that that's probably a problem a lot of home chefs have. I would say, on top of that, if you don't ever open up your air fryer, don't let anyone guilt you into it. It's such an amazing tool, but if you're cooking on your own right now, especially if you have a strong rice maker, you're doing more than 50% of this country, so you're doing great.
Yeah.
Which, I do have to ask you a question about your rice maker. Which one do you have? Because I've learned that there's two camps. There's the super bougie $500 rice maker, and there's the $20. There's nothing in between.
Oh, I don't know. I know it's the Zoji Rushi something, but I know I did not spend $500 on it, so that's why, yeah.
Does yours sing?
Oh yeah, when it finishes, it's da 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 da. Yeah, when it finishes, rice is done.
Yeah, I can't get enough of that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so you see how it's getting now nice
pretty
brown and
brown.
crackling, right? We're right about there. I would pull them right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to yank them. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Now at this stage, since I know you say you don't fry very often, but I think
Right.
you know this is a good vulnerable state
Okay.
to be able to essentially season it with just a little bit more salt. So we're
Do I
gonna
need
do
to get out
is
of your way?
yeah, just dance over
I
there.
gotta get out of here. I'm on the way out.
Okay.
Okay.
And just to protect the floor from slippage, there it is. Gonna yank that out. So we got our two beautiful cutlets. We're gonna have the pesto and artichoke mix up later as a burst of flavor. So, really quick, if you kindly grab your thermometer, go for your thickest piece here. Make sure we're at least at 140.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It went to 190.
Yeah, it's hot.
instantly.
It's hot. It's good. It should stay juicy. Should carry over nicely. So we're in good shape. So now the last part is actually really simple. Remember how you told you wanted to have that artichoke salad type of mix, right? When you take a bite, and this is something I've been waiting to ask you, when you take a bite, do you prefer smaller bites or do you prefer just going all in and just chewing for longer periods of time?
I would say medium. Medium
bites?
small, yeah.
Okay, that's usually how I measure how I'm going to plate something.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do here for the sake of it, and if you'd like to, I'm going to pass this here.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a spoon. Here you are. Okay. The slices that I'm going to make is right about here.
Okay.
Pull out your spoon. If it fits on the spoon, that's the right dice for it. And that's usually how I kind of measure for all the plating and things like that. You may eat that if you'd like to, it's just an artichoke. But that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to ask that you dice or chop these artichokes the exact same size. And that's kind of your guide, if that makes sense. Therefore, you're not asking, if it's the right size over and over. Please go right ahead.
Okay.
Okay. And you do get to taste this before we actually plate it up. Excellent. Also, how are we doing on time, everybody? Everything good? Yeah? Good. Okay, we're in good shape. We're actually at the very end of our dish. Yeah, you definitely cut like someone who's held a knife before, so thank you.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, you're doing a fantastic job. Does that make you nervous to cook in front of people, though?
Yeah, I feel when you said that, I was like, am I holding the knife wrong?
I've been through more than enough chefs, I won't say more, enough chefs in the world I can honestly say I can ignore most of the feedback they've given me. That's all I'll say. I'll be nice today, because believe me, it's been rough.
Yeah.
Beautiful work, okay.
I think artichokes have to be one of my least favorite things to cut because they're so, like, the outside skin is so plasticky that it's like sometimes it even with a sharp knife, it like squishes instead of
Slight slide, right? Yeah, it's never fun. So I have your bench scraper here, and we're going to toss those artichokes right into this bowl, and we're going to finish up with our salad, and we're going to bring back all of those lovely limes and lemons that we put in there, and we're just going to add that juice at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, right in there.
In the bowl?
Yep. Awesome. Okay, and if you would kindly squeeze 3 limes, not whole limes, like 3 lime pieces, and then we're in good shape, and I'm gonna season this at the exact same time. Squeeze that juice right in there, yeah. Very good. So we have that citrus, we have that nice base flavor, the garlic, the saltiness. Yeah. And then this is essentially like an artichoke type of salad, but it's kind of a dressing at the same time. Okay. So now, the plating. Do you often plate your dishes at home?
I put them on a plate, yes.
So you don't go for the full fanciness?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
I think we're gonna have fun with this because I'd like to let you play a little bit if that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah?
Sure.
All right. You're gonna do great, trust me. But before we do that, let's take a taste. Sorry. I'm going to take, remember that nice fatty piece that you smashed earlier?
Yes.
We're gonna do that. Alrighty. And I think I'll cut that one. Ready? Please, be my guest.
What am I doing?
Take
Am I
a
just-
take a bite.
Oh, do you want me to just use my hand?
Yeah, great.
Oh, okay, great.
Sorry, we're in my kitchen. You don't need to be too proper, but
Hot.
that's fair. Tasty? Mm-hmm. Need salt?
Just hot. No.
No? Okay. Anybody else want to taste this while I'm here? No? Okay. Oh. Well, this cameraman immediately raised his hand and like left his stations. I'm going to pass these. I'm going to pass these to you folks. Go right ahead. Yes, you're allowed to have that since Yes, there you go. I'm sorry for burning your mouth, by the way.
Oh, no. It's okay.
All right, so what we're gonna do is plating. So it's really simple here. When it comes to plating fundamentals, even I'm learning a ton right now. And honestly, you really can't go wrong with just doing whatever the hell you wanna do. So when it comes to the pork, where'd my lemons go? Oh, it's okay. So we're gonna let you go pork cutlet in the center, the artichoke salad across the top. I'm gonna let you improvise. It's all you.
Okay.
You have to trust me on this one. And then a few lemon wedges on the side.
Okay, great. On the side on the pork or just like next to it, do you think?
I'm gonna let you interpret.
I feel this as I'm having like art school flashbacks of like, make it more dynamic.
Now that's interesting.
know.
Art school. When did you
Yeah.
go attend art school?
Many moons ago when I was young.
Like, wait, teen years are we talking about, or?
No, I mean for university.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you actually have some talent
it
because
on.
I have none.
I mean that's debatable. I don't know if I would say that. And then I'll make a little mountain.
She made it the exact same way we did yesterday. Huh? Come on, right on. Now, I know you don't always plate up your food the same way at home, but I always find that it kind of improves the experience. And for some strange reason, I also just feel the need to plate up my own cereal. So yeah, it's pretty bad. So that is our first dish today. We're gonna be able to enjoy a little bit more of that later. Do you wanna take another bite right now? It's a little cooled off, yeah.
Yes.
I'm just gonna chop that out. I'm gonna let you take a few bites. And when we get back, we're gonna be moving to our very, very deluxe, delicious cake. And when we get back, we also have a couple announcements to do for a giveaway. Stay tuned, we'll see you soon.
All right, what's up, platers? That's right, you are now platers because you're watching the show, Mixed Plate. I didn't come up with it. While Andy and Ann are getting ready for the next dish, I want to remind you all that we have Fight Night back tomorrow night. Action Jackson and Chelsea Bites are back playing some NBA 2K23 with Dimez, brought to you by our friends at HyperX. That's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time, right here on the Crown Channel. And when we come back, Andy and Ann will start making a delicious, mouth-watering, I can't even pronounce it, cake. And we got a cool giveaway, so stay tuned.
We thought our joys would be unending. We thought our light would never dim.
The skies are strange.
Evil does not sleep. It wakes.
Have you heard of him, lad? Have you heard of Sauron?
Find the light, and the shadow will not find you.
Each of us must decide who we shall be.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Mixed Plate. Thank you for staying with us. My name is Chef Andy, and I'm here with the very, very well-known Munition. Sorry, I admire you a lot, so I'm gonna say that often. Okay. I feel like we are having a good time so far. She's already taken a few bites. We're keeping her well fed. Therefore, we are going to keep it moving. What we're gonna be doing today, if you're just joining us, we're making food that inspires every individual that joins us, and we're inspired by the stories that they tell us. We're going to be going with our next stage, which is I'm gonna test you on this one more time, a strawberry fraisier cake. Maybe 1,500 more times we'll get it right. Fraisier cake. This is a cake that I was especially stoked to show you, and this is why. Being able to take this home and being able to knock it out without having to do all of the insanely difficult parts kind of gives you the baseline. Now you know where you're going. Now you know where you're going to end up. Now you know how to get there. It should be a lot easier. Right. So if I at any point inspire you to have the chance to just make this like a boss later for that partner out there, I feel like I am more than happy to do so. So what we've done is we've gotten everything together for you, alrighty? We've done the heavy lifting on the sponge cake, the strawberries as best measured as we could, the mini sponges that go on top. We have our simple syrup, which is infused with an orange flower and strawberry. If you want to take a sniff of that.
Yeah, that does. I can smell it from over here. It smells great.
Excellent, right? And we're gonna use that. And usually you soak a little bit longer, but for this, since you're gonna be working with a couple other ingredients, it's not gonna be as crazy. And we have our pastry creams, alrighty? Now, I wanted to ask you this question. Which tip do you prefer? And have you ever used a piping bag like this before?
I have, yes. I feel like usually I use that one for like more decorating and this one for like filling.
Brilliant.
Right?
Okay, so since you're gonna be decorating yours, I'm
Okay.
gonna let you have this one.
Okay.
And we're in good shape, and I'm gonna use this as you're doing it.
Okay.
So our plan right now is to build side by side, okay? It's not a competition, although I feel like I consider this cake hard mode cake, because honestly, there's a lot of other routes that you can go to make this a whole lot easier, but this is one of the ones that you it's like a skill check, in my opinion. So we're gonna go side by side, we're going to build each layer, I'm gonna do my best to explain every aspect of you, and then we're going to box it up, and you get to take that home today. And I mostly wanted to do this as soon as possible, mostly because we wanna make sure it's chilled for our time where we actually feed you properly. Ready?
Okay. Sounds great.
Excellent. Okay, so first off, I'm going to bring you your little custom-made little mini cake stand. It's so adorable. You guys did a great job with this. Alrighty, and that doesn't move too much there. And then I'm giving you pastry cream.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep the strawberries just between us. And then we have our second sponges, which I'll hold off for now, okay? Now, there we go. You can keep that right there, actually. Yep. Excellent. Okay, and our syrup is here. So, step one is not the pastry cream. Step one is essentially to get some of that sponge, some moisture.
Okay.
So, what you're gonna do first is, actually you can hold it by hand. I'm gonna do a full tablespoon, and then just let it fall off the sides. I'm not pouring it, I'm just doing it this way.
Okay.
Okay, and it's gonna absorb super, super well in there. Go right ahead. And then as you're doing that, I'm just going to move it all around. I'm almost nervous I made it too strong. There we go. Well done.
Okay.
Excellent. Now it's time for pastry cream. So as it's starting to slowly soak in, take a look at mine for a second, because it's already had the time to just kind of soak in.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, that's stage one. So I'm gonna grab my pastry bag and give you a little quick demo. How many times have you decorated?
I would say less than 10.
Okay. Do you know the rules of the pastry bag?
No. Please tell me the rules of the pastry bag.
This needs to be like a graphic. So when it comes to pastry tips, pastry bags, what tends to screw a lot of cakes up is air. What you're always trying to do is make sure there's no air in the bag, because then of course that flow is coming out.
Got
The
it.
other part of it is make sure you're twisting a little bit so the pressure's there. And then of course the angle, sorry, years of culinary school this is a PTS. This is a trigger moment for me of like that, because my teacher would actually slap my elbow if it was incorrect. So you have to kind of keep it close in, therefore you have control, and you don't move your arms, you move your body. I think it's ridiculous. Do not do anything I just said. Okay? I feel like that's ridiculous. So what we're gonna do is, if you wanna come on over here, you can get a little closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. It's first layer in, and then, right? And that's how we're starting off, okay? So I'm gonna let you give that a shot first. And of course, since this is your cake, please feel free to start to improvise at any point in time.
Okay.
Now, for years now, I've had an opportunity to work with you in so many different places, but I have to say, I've admired every single thing you've done. You've taught me a lot how to work in this industry. You've taught me and lots of other folks how to do things the right way. I am curious, through the years of your journey, what has been the most memorable part of, I guess, the time that you were a game developer, or, a small game developer, you know, at that time versus where you're at now?
I would say the two standout moments for me were meeting Michelle Obama, because she was really cool. That was the most like starstruck I've ever been. And getting to introduce Tony Hawk at TwitchCon, because that was another like big fan moment for me. So yeah, I mean, I've been in this industry for a long time, and I've had, you know, lots of really cool opportunities. It's hard to just pinpoint one. I'm just lucky to be where I am.
So it feels like you've definitely had more experiences than, I would say, most people at this stage. Actually, I'll pause there.
Should I put more pastry cream?
Nope, you're
No?
exactly
That's
where
good?
it should be,
Okay,
because again, this is kind of a point where I put the base down.
Okay.
And what I did was, we're gonna fill this up with a little bit more cream.
Yeah, okay.
You're gonna make that nice little circle facing outwards. And you make that beautiful display there. You see that, guys? Yeah. Well done.
Because I know that Lori's going to eat this later, so I'm going to make it good.
Do you think that it's Lori?
Yes.
Lori. Now, Lori, I'm giving you permission here. If there's anything wrong with these cakes, that's on us. I want to be really clear, but right now, hers already look better than mine, so I just want to be really clear about that. Now, we're already using many of the strawberries. Can I have more strawberries, please? More strawberries!
Always more strawberries is the answer to everything.
Thank you kindly. I'm gonna give these a quick chop. And while you're doing so, I would love to know a little bit more about some of the games that you would say were the best of your career. And I mean, what I mean by that is some of the games where you had the most memorable moments, most impactful moments. I'd love to hear a little bit more about the games that matter most to you.
Well, Rainbow Six is a big one for me, because it's like I would say my second, well, I think it's still my first most streamed game. Tarkov is quickly catching up, because that's all I've been playing recently. But yeah, Rainbow Six is a big one for me. It's also how I met Lori, so that's like a big part of our lives.
Through Rainbow?
Through Rainbow, yeah.
Really?
She's a coach, and so for one of the professional teams, and I went to a tournament. And that's where we met.
Aha.
So that's a big one for me for that reason, and it's also, I think, one of the games that I've had, I would guess, more like influence on, and like I feel like I've had a lot of, I don't know, I've spent a lot of time with that game and with the devs, you know, and yeah, so that's probably the biggest one for me now.
It's good to hear about Siege, because it's interesting you say that, because as somebody who works on the other side of the industry, I've learned that you have had great feedback over the years for a lot of games that I play, that other folks play, and I wonder, have you ever had any feedback that actually made it in-game, was actually processed? Because I know it had to have happened more than once.
Yes.
But if there was multiple instances, what mattered the most?
I would say with Siege specifically, there were a lot of...
Fill in the bottom of these strawberries.
Yes. Do you just lay them flat, or just...
Yeah, I just kind of fill it in there.
I would say with Siege specifically, there was some feedback that I gave them regarding like the kind of the multiplayer online experience and how they could improve like reporting and like the chat features and stuff. Like you used to not be able to mute the chat of like the other players or something, and so there was a lot of stuff that was, you know,
Wait, you couldn't mute individual players?
No, it was like you either had to mute everyone, even your own team, or like no one. You know, it was like
I thought that was a good idea.
I mean, that was, you know, that's just how it was.
Yeah.
I need more strawberries. So.
Yeah, yep, you're right ahead.
Thank you. So that's just how it was, and you know, and you point it out to them and you say, hey, it would be really great if we could do this, and then they're like, oh yeah, you know, that makes sense, okay, and then that, you know, goes in the game. So
that team is really respectful of feedback, and they care so much.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I feel like I'm really proud of the folks that were working on that one. Okay, now we have our next layer. Next step. Oh wait, did I see
sorry,
something?
I would like to acknowledge the chat. Does this have to be strawberries, or could you sub in other berries? I mean,
Oh.
Technically maybe, but then it wouldn't be a fraisier anymore, because des fraises is literally French for strawberry. So like it is a strawberry cake.
Now I'm kind of curious, if this was an all blackberry cake, if we were to use the French term for blackberry, just. Are you gonna look that up for us?
I
Okay.
don't remember what that's called.
Alrighty. I'm sorry? Mio. Mio.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Mio cake.
Yeah.
I don't want to be yelled at in French. And I'm from Haiti, so it's going to be unforgivable. So if you would take your pastry bag once more, Okay. What we're gonna do is you're gonna fill out one more time.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have a little bit more on this side. That's gonna be, the next layer is gonna be the next layer of cake. And then we get to do the fancy stuff. Now, Malika, as somebody who nailed this pastry cream, how difficult is it to make pastry cream? Come on over here, come on. I think you're gonna vent. I want the honest to God answer. This pastry cream is something that you have to get down on temperature.
Yep.
We had to whip the butter.
Yep.
You had to get this really nice milk. And
Yes.
every part of that, every stage of this is what actually creates that filling. So, what do you
I
think?
think with pastry cream, it's
I'll
about
probably go another layer higher. If you come down to this level really quick. All right?
squeeze a little bit
You
more
want to get
of
as
it.
even as possible.
Yeah. You see, you're kind of really on the hook here because you have the clear ring, so everybody can see what you're doing. But I think with pastry cream, there's a lot of little things you don't have to do, and there's like 3 main things you have to do. But if you do all the little things,
If you need some more,
it definitely increases your probability for like nailing it. So high fat content butter.
Yep.
I think people think butter is like 100% fat, but it's not that simple. High fat content milk, and then separating your egg yolks properly, and then of course there's the temperature and whisk it so much that your arm hurts.
Yeah,
Right?
I know those days. Okay, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Everyone thank Malika for that background. I have made pastry cream since I was about 6 years old. And I remember learning that from my mom. She was really big on alterating a lot of box cakes. So she would never make something like this at all. She would just throw berries on it and say, eat the cake.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a little insane. So we have a giveaway coming up, but before we do, I want to get all of our decoration ingredients here. Our next phase is to top the cake and make it pretty. Alrighty, now I'm going to say, bring that over here if you would kindly. Or do you, you need a hand? Okay. I have really long arms. Very good. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing is, I wanted to have an opportunity to give you as many options as possible. None of this is technically, the word I wanna use is French legal. It's kind of frowned upon. So you were not pressured to do anything that you don't wanna do.
Okay.
But I've learned that sometimes a little bit of accenting color is a good way to go. Think it through before we do anything. I will be probably going with macaroons and a little bit of powdered sugar with strawberries and finishing with gold dust. That is how I feel about it.
Oh, yeah.
But before we do, we're gonna top our cake. We're going to get our next layer of the simple syrup on, and then we're gonna get to our giveaway, which I have something really cool to show you because it's ridiculous. So please gently pick up your sponge cake. Yeah, I'm gonna grab mine. There we go.
in there?
Yeah, just go right on top, just like you did the first layer. I'm just gonna gently press. Now, a cool trick.
Mine doesn't fit.
Is it not fit?
I just, we're just gonna jam it in there. There you go.
No, I think we're okay, but let me help you out a little bit with a softer touch. That is a large. Here it is, okay? Use a spoon and gently press there, and therefore it'll come together.
Okay.
Nicely done. Yeah, that's tight. I'm gonna hold
great.
this for you. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, today we're gonna be doing a very, very simple and tight giveaway. We're gonna be giving away a very good looking glass cake stand that's gonna be available on Amazon. It comes with an entire pastry kit, so to speak. So you get the tips, you have the piping bags, it comes with 100. I have like the same exact kit at home. But what's nice is you have the opportunity to use that same cake board as a pizza board. Not that anyone would ever do that at home, but that's just my opinion. So we're gonna be doing that a giveaway. If you want to enter, it is !mixed plate into the chat. Get that going. Gives yourself a chance to win. We're gonna be doing giveaways every week. They'll get intensive, a little bit more frequent in the future, but I do hope that whoever needs a cake stand out there wins this one, and we're in good shape. So, how are we looking? Do you feel proud of this so far? Be honest.
I feel medium about
Okay.
it, I feel like, I've never done this before, so I feel like as a good, first attempt,
Oh yeah?
I think, yeah.
Want to know what I did the first time?
What did you do the
I
first
cracked it in half by accident.
Ah.
Yeah, so you are
Yeah.
still currently Killing
Okay,
it right
good.
now.
Great.
So where's that spoon that you just had?
Right here.
Okay, I'm gonna do the exact same thing and just avoid any type of holes. Because what you're doing is you're essentially putting that pastry cream to work and filling out all the gaps that are there. So what we're gonna do is finish off with our final layer. And you're gonna put a little bit less than you did the first time.
Okay.
Very good. Now, do we have any more pastry cream by chance or no?
We have pastry cream, not crème mousseline.
Could you give me some pastry cream actually? And let's get that into another bag with a simple tip. I want the option to do a little bit of a flour on top. Beautiful. Okay, that's soaked there. So now the decoration stage begins. So normally this is where you would top the entire piece with a gelée, a strawberry gelée. We held off mostly because no one has time for that to watch it chill. I mean, that's not a very exciting live stream. But on top of that, it's actually very optional. I've learned that depending on what version you're making, it does change the perspective. I would love to know what Lori?
Yes, Lori.
What Lori thinks, but I'm team no gelée. I'm just not a fan of that texture.
Okay.
But aside from that, we're gonna give you a little bit of pastry cream to top it with. But what have you decided on your toppings for this cake?
I will definitely be putting more strawberries.
Okay.
And I think I will also, I assume those are pistachios.
Yes, they are. These are, I should have actually told you and I assumed.
I mean, I assumed they were, you know, I just wanted to double check before I was like, yeah, pistachios. And you're like, those are actually,
dehydrated.
yeah, that's like actually like pepper flakes or something. And I'm just like, sorry, I ruined the cake. That's it.
You know, you said that and now I'm thinking about how to make peppered pistachios. So it's not wrong. So it's not a bad idea. So we have our sliced strawberries. We have our whole strawberries for finishing. We have two types of sprinkles. We have raw rock sugar here. Different flavored macaroons. If you decide to just eat those, go right ahead. Our gold dust, which is really meant for that fancy Salt Bae type thing. And of course, really interesting New Year's Eve sprinkles. I don't know where the inspiration was for this one, but I'm going to let it slide. I think it's interesting, and that gold actually matches it together.
Yeah.
So what say you?
Yes, I like I said, I will definitely do the strawberries. I love macarons, but I know that Lori does not. So I will be eating them, and I will not be putting them on her cake.
Please go right ahead.
And then, yeah, pistachios. I think I'll try that, yeah, the pistachios.
Sick. Alrighty, we have your pastry bag ready, so I'm gonna let you decorate this part of it. And
What's the idea behind the decorating? Like, do I just put a layer?
everything on top, because you've already done the hard work. If you look down here, you want those strawberries to feature a little bit harder. Thank you.
Okay.
And then, depending on what you'd like to do here, we're just going to put one layer
Yeah.
of the pastry cream, so you just have something to kind of set it on.
Right.
Make sense?
Okay.
Excellent. So yeah, the idea is just on top, and then once we remove the acetate paper off of this piece, you get that nice round, and we're good to go.
Right. Okay.
And with this cake, I will say, the last thing I'll say about it is, you do not, oh, actually, I should know better. I should use scissors. I know, it's a habit. I forget these are here. I'm actually of the mind is you should always chill the cake one more time and eat it right out of the fridge. Now, and when it comes to the topping, a little bit thinner, you want larger, what are your thoughts?
Go for medium.
Medium,
Yeah.
right there.
That looks good.
Awesome. Please,
Great.
have a ball. And I'll take that from you once you're done.
There's some coming out the top.
Oh, sorry, a little pastry cream there. Right on. It looks like people are voting for you to use sprinkles in the chat. I'm kind of curious why they chose sprinkles, but hey, that was the one that won the poll. Focus mode, right on. Okay, thank you kindly. Okay, and please go right ahead and decorate as you see fit. This is not an area of instruction for me. This is straight up improv. Sprinkles are for donuts and cupcakes. It looks like we have an argument happening now. I do not understand macaroons. Chat demands sprinkles. How often does chat have?
Chat has a lot of demands, and you know, I've been streaming for a long time. You don't always have to listen to their demands. They don't know that.
Have you ever had a chat, what's the word I want to use, be too unruly, and you just kind of had to put them down? I don't want to put them down is not the right word.
Shut it down, yeah.
Shut it down,
You gotta
yeah.
shut it down, yeah. I'm gonna take one of these whole strawberries.
Ooh. I'm actually just going to watch you because I've been enjoying what you're going to do here. But now I feel like that might be too much pressure. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Take this first.
Chad is wrong on sprinkles. So yeah, Chad has definitely come in, and now they have that argument happening here.
So, chat, when you make your own Fraisier cake for your own French woman, you can put whatever you want on it. But this one is for mine, and she wouldn't want sprinkles, so. But she would want more strawberries.
This is absolutely lovely.
So, ta-da. Maybe I'll try,
on.
I'm gonna put a little
Keep
bit
going.
of this because it's fancy looking.
There's still room for strawberries if you'd like too.
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit closer.
Not bad. Let's see. I think what I'll do is I'll make the strawberry rose at the top and let that sit. It'll come off. I've genuinely never actually decorated a cake this small before. Have you ever worked in food service whatsoever?
I used to work at a coffee house for a very long time.
You know coffee.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Oh boy.
Because I want to be clear, we are having coffee for this evening. And now you don't have to have it if you don't want to, but I'm a big coffee lover.
I love coffee.
Now, have you been to some of the shops around here? Oh, sorry, I'm saying around here. I'm saying California because I'm from the East Coast and I immediately assume. Have you had any coffee shops that you favor?
So I have never been, I haven't spent a lot of time in this specific area where we are now. I know like in LA, Echo Park and Silver Lake have a lot of really good coffee houses that I've been to in the past, but I could not tell you the name because I have a terrible memory.
Okay.
So there's that. I am big on iced vanilla oat milk lattes.
Iced
my big thing.
vanilla oat milk latte?
Yeah, but with extra espresso because they never put enough espresso in it. That's too much milk and I want the coffee.
So your espresso is probably stronger, double shot, triple shot?
Yeah. Oh, well, they usually only put 2 shots, so I'll usually go for 4.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You quad shot that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Quad shot
but
that shit?
We quad shot that, yeah.
I feel like that is the perfect amount depending on the day. Like, are you like early morning a riser or no?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, wait, so hold on. I should clarify. I'm 6 a.m. early morning riser. Same?
Yeah, 6 to 7. Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Sorry, I don't want to knock the other young ones here, but come on, wake up. So I feel good about that. Now, I'm going to finalize this with a little bit of a dusting. Okay?
Okay.
What we're going to be...
What is happening?
What are you doing?
I don't know. He's just...
He got oat milk, and I think I know what he's doing. And yeah, you kind of awoken the coffee side of him, so yeah, I think this is gonna be interesting. We're gonna see what he comes up with in a second, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just dust this with a little bit of powdered sugar. Do you want to do the same for yours? If not, I'd love it if you did it.
I'm gonna see how yours turns out, and then I'm gonna decide. I'm gonna judge based on what you do.
Well, I actually wanted you to finish it yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you remember, you're in my kitchen, you're working.
Okay, great.
Ready? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna switch places with you, alrighty? Now, when it comes to powdered sugar, you're not just pouring, please forgive me, it's a light spank.
Yeah.
So essentially, it is just over the top, and you wanna go higher, just like you would the salt.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to place that sieve right over here, right? And then, okay. And then dust over the top. Looks beautiful.
Good?
Yeah. Actually, keep going.
More? Okay.
Yeah. I'm a little bit obnoxious with my sugar. I don't mind at all. It's snowing. Have you ever done any extreme sports, by the way? Like snowboarding?
I've tried snowboarding. I think I fell on my tailbone too many times, and then that was that. So.
Oh, like in the same run?
Yeah. You know, you go up and you go down a little bit, you fall, you go down some more, you fall, you go down some more.
Vanilla ice latte.
Okay, great.
So he literally just made
just
a vanilla
made
ice
one?
latte on the fly.
Perfect.
And that is now your tumbler, so enjoy it. That is yours forever. What do you think?
It was pretty good. I'm not big on the brand of oat milk that you guys have here.
But I feel like I would probably say that if you were to use a brand, what would be your favorite? I think I know what you're gonna say.
I always use the Chobani.
Chobani?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Have you ever made your own?
Yeah.
Yeah? Worth it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Alrighty, so we finished both cakes. You're done with yours. This is coming home with you, and I'm going to give you a little box
cute.
for Mixed Plate to put that together. But this is the moment of truth. Okay.
Oh, right.
How comfortable do you feel with the stability of your cake? Because whether you like it or not, that barrier is coming off.
Well, is it supposed to come off now, or are we supposed to chill it and then it comes off?
It chills and then it comes off.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you take all of this home.
Right.
But the question I was going to ask is, we have to put it inside the box.
Uh-huh.
And I think, yeah, it does. So here's the question I'm going to ask you. Will you show us later
Okay.
the result of your cake
Right,
when you get home?
when we take it off?
Yes,
Yeah,
later today, because we
okay.
can't do it now, and you do
Right.
not have to. You owe us
I
nothing.
would love to.
But I'd love to know how you feel about it later.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, of course.
Sick, okay. So we're gonna let you box that up.
I have to learn how the box works first.
Come on over, yeah, you can teach us, because I do not know how to do that correctly. Alrighty?
Oh, on the outside. Okay.
Indeed. So we have a nice little cake, and finish my cake off. I feel like this was a really, really fun way to kind of get you drawn in. I do hope that this that this little construction project is going well. Did it work? It's there. Okay, so a little taller than we
We'll
anticipated.
just put some duct tape on it, that's fine.
They're probably gonna make you another box. We should be okay.
It's fine. Well, it's
Yeah?
because of my strawberry, it's too tall. That's why.
Got it. So yeah, as long as it's gentle. But folks, we are going to take a short break. Next up, we're going to be making the dish that has terrified me for the last 2 weeks, and I hope you get to enjoy it. But what we're going to be doing instead of seeing that dish immediately is we're going to be making some fresh pasta from scratch. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hello, everybody. Hey, well, are we good? Are we good? All right, it's Malika, and while we bake that cake, no, the cake is already baked. While we chill that cake and prepare for our final dish, I want to put a spotlight on Spotlight. Spotlight is back Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, right here on Crown. John Sandman and Cuppa Noodle are back in the driver's seat with Tiffany, Zexro, and Wardle joining them. When we come back, Andy and Ann will be making the final dish of the day. Be right back.
I am the myth. I am the glory you seek. I am the island. And the island is me. I am the rage, the destruction. I am Eternum. And Eternum is me.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Mixed Plate. My name is Chef Andy. I'm here with Ammunition, the almighty powerful Ammunition, eating a macaroon still. Obviously we weren't ready for the last round end. What we're gonna be doing next is, if you're just joining us, we are creating food that allows us to tell stories about the creators that we work with. And you are a creator I have had the pleasure of working with. We are going to be doing pasta from scratch for this next recipe. So just to kind of take you through our plan, this dish is essentially a bulgogi-inspired duck confit pasta, taking as many possible flavors as I can to kind of bring together not only some of the newer flavors that you've been experiencing with, but kind of the favorites that you talked to me about. Now, we're not gonna be showing the entire dish creation on stream, but we're gonna be getting the most important part down, which is getting pasta dough. Now, you made it from scratch before.
No.
You never made pasta dough at all?
No.
Whew, that's exciting. Okay, so first time.
Okay, I've made pasta, but you know, when you take it from the box and you put it in the hot water.
Ah, okay. So you made the not quite known as way. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go with the most old school method I can possibly fathom of making pasta. However, just in case, I have some other backups that are available. But most importantly, what we have to do with pasta is we have to allow it to rest. So we do have one pasta ready to go, therefore we roll it out. But just to go over the ingredients for the main dish that you're gonna see once we're ready to eat, we're gonna be going through persimmons. Have you ever had these before?
Yes, I love persimmons.
Yeah, I'm glad you're a fan. These are a little bit harder, a little bit unripened. We're gonna be doing a hard sear on those, okay? We're gonna go with persimmons. We have a seasoned duck confit that we've been making for about 2 straight days. It's got the sugar, it's got the sugar, the sauces, the seasonings, as well as a little bit of sesame in there. I will not say much more, but you'll taste that at the final dish. And then we're gonna be doing a little bit of scallion, but at the very end, are you a fan?
It smells very spicy, so I'm anxious about that.
Now, I know what it smells like, right? It's actually just pepper.
Okay, but
not hot peppers.
It says hot, and it's got like a red explosion on the bottle. So
now this particular
it's totally
piece,
not hot.
it is meant to be just a little bit of accent of yuzu, a brightness in there. So you will detect the heat for all of a second, and it dissipates immediately. Normally, when it comes to this kind of hot sauce, if you're talking about the amount of Scoville units, are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're talking about Scoville units, you're dancing on Tabasco with this one.
Right.
Right. Now, I know someone in this studio is a big fan of this stuff, so if anybody out there has a Connect, I will buy 4 bottles of it because it's delicious, and try it on hot dogs. That's all I'm gonna say. Alrighty, so that's gonna go away for now. So I'm gonna make that last. What we're gonna be doing is pasta the oldest way I know how, which is straight up egg yolks, salt, and the flour, okay? Now, pasta dough usually works with 00 flour, which means the finest possible grind. However, the other restaurants in the area and other people just use AP because it's a bit easier, but it depends on how much you actually care. But you will get slightly different textures based on what flour you use. Now, before we get really into it, I want to turn that fryer off. It's too hot back here. I'm going to be essentially starting things off, and you're going to be jumping into the kneading piece. Okay. Now, my hope is that by the end of it, we have a beautiful ball of dough that's ready to rest, and we'll bring in the other one next.
Okay.
Okay? Now, pasta. Let's start with 2 cups of dough. Sorry, 2 cups of flour, rather, okay? Now,
that's the easy way. You just start with the dough.
Yeah, just start with the dough, reverse engineer it, just like you do, bug testing, right? You know, it's how we port games, right?
Yeah.
You know, just do, just
have the finished game.
Yeah, just easy. Just control C, control V, and just r/PS5. So, yes, I'm mocking people to say, just do it this way. There we go. Okay. So, you've seen this well method before, right?
Yes.
Okay. Normally, if I had a bit more table space, like if I had this whole table, I would just dump the flour there and just do it there. This is kind of a precaution to make sure I'm not driving our cameramen crazy trying to track everything. So we're gonna make inside the bowl. We have the egg yolks here, and what you're gonna do is dump them right in the center. 3 and pinches, please.
3 and pinches. Okay, great.
Okay. Here's where the great debate happens. Olive oil or no? Allow me to explain this. Do you know the history behind this fight?
No, You acted like this was a very dramatic thing, like, as everyone knows.
I was raised in New England, so this actually comes up immediately, so I assume that everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So essentially, the argument is whether or not you put olive oil into pasta dough,
Okay.
or do you put it into the pasta water.
Oh.
As somebody who has been with food scientists and people who are trained in these certain things, you don't need to put oil in your pasta water. Please. Amen. Okay? It does nothing for you. I knew I was gonna get somebody who objected immediately. But did you constantly move? The argument is that if you're always moving your pasta, it means that your noodles won't stick, but the olive oil is an insurance policy. I call BS. I want myth hunters on this. Mythbusters. Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I feel like I'm just tired of the debate. But let's get into making pasta because I'm just gonna get mad. Okay. So I've lost my olive. Oh no, I haven't. Gonna do a shot of olive oil. Just a quick shot. And this, in my opinion, ties it all together. We're gonna take our fork and do a little mix inside. Alrighty. Bringing the egg yolks together. And we're in good shape to get it moving. Now, in my opinion, I just go straight in with all hands. So it does get a little stickier, so if you do want to use a spoon to start off, that's just fine. But in my world, just get the dough going.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm gonna start mixing the dough. What we're gonna do in just a second is I'm gonna show you what it should look like. So bring in the sides, okay? And then notice that it's lightly sticking to my fingers, right? Mm-hmm. But then, as you realize all the flour's slowly been incorporated and all of that moisture from the egg yolks is slowly starting to kind of meld together, you're gonna slowly find this type of grainy kind of texture, right? Now here's the weird thing about pasta. As you're kneading it and as you're making it, you can add water to this if you have a little bit too much flour. But the measurements are never the same twice, nor had they ever been. But what happens is, as you're slowly mixing it, all this moisture keeps coming back, and it's annoying. So what you wanna do is you wanna add whatever you need to do to balance this out little by little. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So lots of people make fresh pasta in competition shows. I believe, let's see, in Hell's Kitchen, Iron Chef Watching Experience just told me to salt the water, nothing but oil. Yeah, thank you, Shadow. So you understand that? But now, we're mixing this dough together. So you see how it's kind of chippy? Mm-hmm. All you have to do is add like a tablespoon of water and it's gonna slowly start to come together. The mistake that most people make is they'll add, oh, I just need to add a ton of water, and now they're adding flour. Now they're adding water. Now they're balancing it out.
Getting away from you.
Yeah, and now it's sticky. And even after it's rested, it might still be sticky.
Right.
So if you would kindly take this dish that still has the egg in it, which is fine, add a little bit of water, and we're gonna add a touch of it at a time. Like a teaspoon. Good, okay. And then add a little bit more. I'm gonna keep saying go until it's really ready to kind of come together. Because if you were using that mixer over there, it would be easier with the dough hook.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go ahead. Now I want you to feel this. Take this a little bit in your hand. And you see how that moisture slowly starting to come out? Mm-hmm. That's just one clump. That's what's starting to happen now.
Okay.
So go right ahead and add a bit more. Bit more, right here. Yeah. Now, would you even care about making fresh pasta at home? Would it be like a one and done, or?
No, that's why I mentioned it and why I was like, this would be something cool to learn from someone who actually like knows what they're doing, you know, so that I can try to do this myself. Because I know that, I mean, I would love to just be able to make my own fresh pasta, you know, sometimes. Mm.
I really enjoy it for making raviolis. Any stuffed pastas are just a blast. I think they're really, really fun to make. So I think this is slowly starting to get wetter. Now, this is where I'm gonna ask, get your hands in here.
Okay.
And start to feel what it looks like, because this is by feel.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So it feels like once you start really getting those textures, it's not sticking to your hands and slowly coming off of mine.
Right.
So now we're gonna switch.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a little bit of water, and they're gonna slowly start to see that form into dough. Now, if you'd bring that finished dough over when you get the chance, and place. Alrighty. That's your final dough, and that's what you're aiming for. That's
Okay.
rested, and we're gonna be putting a little bit more flour on that. But that is all egg yolk dough. The reason why most folks decide to go with egg yolks is mostly because, oh, sorry, I thought I saw a grandma ammunition for a second. I'm sorry. I was really concerned. But the reason why a lot of folks use mostly yolks is because the egg whites have so much flour. But this has a nice resistance, and it's not sticking to my fingers. That's fantastic. Okay, so go ahead and keep mixing. I'm gonna add a little faster. And over time, if there's one thing I've learned, is once you make it enough, you know exactly where you're gonna land.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop there because now it's gonna become more doughy. Now, when you cook, I mentioned earlier that you're usually listening to music, watching something else. How hard do you focus when you're really in creating something like this that you haven't tried before?
I am one of those people that will just I zone out everything else, and I can just focus on really what I'm doing, and get time will get away from me. So
you just completely just get into it,
yeah,
abandon all hope.
yeah.
How's that feeling to you now?
It's very hard to mix in the bowl, so I understand why you do it on the
on the
on
table,
the
right?
thing,
Yeah, because you usually get that leverage, right?
Yeah, and this is just the bowl is sliding away from me, so.
Indeed. Now this is the point where you start balancing it out. I'd probably add a little bit more flour, but we're looking really good. But we're gonna go through probably how many more layers of kneading and such before we get to resting stage.
Yeah.
Right? But I want to get to you one more set of flour so you know what it should feel like. And I'm talking about the littlest bit, so we get everything in the bowl. So there you go. And then once we're done, we're gonna take this off the board and get right down to it. I'm just gonna move that out of your way. If you want me to hold this to help,
Yeah, it's okay.
Very good. Now, what are your favorite pastas?
Well, you mentioned ravioli.
Okay.
I love any kind of ravioli. Does gnocchi count as a pasta?
It
It's
does.
like a little
Yes.
potato guy.
People say it's
so-
dumplings. It lives in the
Yeah.
pasta family.
Okay, great. So I love that. Agnolotti also.
And you love this?
Okay, there you go.
Sorry.
However that is. I mean, I was pronouncing you on the Fraisier earlier. So.
Yeah, we're even now.
Yeah.
Excellent. How's that feeling now, right? It's still hard.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty
sticking
hard.
to your fingers?
No.
Good. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, once you get all those little flour bits there, we're all finished.
Okay.
Now, as I was quizzing you on your favorite pastas, your favorite proteins.
I mean, bulgogi is a big one for me. So not just like steak is fine, but really like a marinated bulgogi, or like short rib. Really like a lot. And duck was the other one that I mentioned to them that I really love duck. So.
Okay, so I chose right.
Yeah, you got the two big ones for me.
Okay, now I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Okay, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna remove it from this bowl. However, do not just place it on the board.
Okay. We'll guard it with my line.
Boom, that's the motion you're making. Yeah. Now here's why. The idea is it's actually a bit of a sound cue to know just how hard it is. Because feel this,
Yep.
feel that.
Yeah, that's really soft.
Right? That's all from the resting side of it.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and the more you knead it, you're building gluten, you're doing other things. So what we're gonna do is, I'm just going to ask for the bench scraper back. I've lost it. Oh, sweet deal. I'm gonna scrape off the old dough and in with the rested dough. Okay?
Great.
And if you
Should
would
I-
kindly take a little bit, actually, if you do want to rinse your hands off, that's just fine.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was done with.
You're fine, yeah. Because this is where I would probably say you'd need it for another 10 minutes
Yeah.
by hand, but then after a while, your hands will start getting this way, and I don't want to do that to you right now. So I'm going to toss dough off camera. Nice catch. Okay. Excellent. Let me get a paper towel. Beautiful. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to pull your dough and I'm gonna season this with a little bit of flour, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off a piece and get it ready for rolling. smooth that out. You worked with doughs before, bread dough and such, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a comfort level with it. Get off, there we go. All right, now, you gotta practice earlier. Same motion,
Great.
aggressive. Yeah, now it's wetter,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of the sound I'm looking for. It's foolish, but it's how I know dough's ready. Ready? So what we're gonna do is, the first thing we have to kind of worry about is making sure that the dough isn't gonna stick to this machine.
Okay.
The entire process involves a lot of flour, a lot of mess, but it's all worth it in the end. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a nice long sheet. We're gonna essentially knead a smaller piece, make sure it's dry, and go out. And that's gonna be our fresh pasta for the dish.
Okay.
Ready to go?
Sure.
Alrighty, so I'm going to cut off this piece here. Just gonna go by feel and make sure we're in good shape. That feels good, okay? Feel that out and make sure no part of your fingers are sticking. That's what I'm really looking for. All those little moisture pockets that sneak up on you.
No, feels good.
Feels good?
Yeah.
Excellent, okay. Now, I think for safety's sake, do we have a rolling pin?
There's a lid roller.
Is that a lid roller?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally didn't ask them for it earlier, but, oh, we're gonna get a rolling pin? Okay. It's all good. So what you can do here is, I'm just gonna flatten it out. And now feel right here.
Yep.
Yep, it's a little bit of moisture, and just rub that down, okay?
Okay.
Because the idea is any moisture that's here will get stuck in the
it'll stick.
machine.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're gonna roll out, this piece will become 4 pieces, and we're gonna roll out each one. Alrighty, cut that in half. Brilliant. Now cut that in half.
This way or that way?
Either way.
That way.
Excellent, okay. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna roll it out a little bit. Now here's the fun part. Would you prefer to use the pasta machine and crank, or do you wanna hold the roll that comes out?
I will do the cranking.
Yeah, the cranking,
Yes.
okay. You get to do the hard work, awesome.
Okay, great.
All right, I'm gonna pass that to you. Sorry, she was right down there. And I'm just gonna make sure there's a little bit of flour in the machine as well.
Okay.
Right, this guarantees. Give that a crank. Very good. And we're just taking all precautions. Pasta dough, no matter what anyone tells you, starts at 0, then 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Your numbers are here. And depending on what you're doing, something like ravioli is up at 5. Something like rigatoni is probably closer to 4. So we're gonna start with a 1. That is a 1 right now,
Yeah.
7. Okay, thank God. Ready? I'm going to feed the pasta into the machine. You are going to crank.
Okay.
Crank!
How fast do I crank?
That is the perfect speed, actually.
Oh, great. I'm a natural.
You're a natural
pasta
cranker.
maker.
Look at that. Okay. And it's funny because you really don't want to go too fast, because you know how I kept checking for those moisture pockets?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. Okay, now come on over. And you see how we're looking for this now? We're feeling it out. In order to get those away from it, add a little flour, right? Kind of give it a base, fold it over. Oh, I did that wrong. Fold it over, and just make sure that none of those pockets of pasta have any holes or any other issues, right? So you're just kind of remaking the dough and trying to identify all those little areas. And after a while, this becomes all about feel. You'll start to recognize the little nuances, the little wet areas, and things like that. And honestly, once you get it down, you'll never look back. There we go, feel that.
Yeah.
Feel good? Excellent. So we're gonna roll it on 1 once more. Okay, crank. Crank harder. No, stop, I'm kidding. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Feeling good about that?
Yeah.
Awesome. And now, none of those weird
Yeah.
wet spots came out of
Right.
out of the face, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put a little bit more flour. So now, would you set that to 2 next, please? Feel good about that? Okay. Now let's go for the next one. Are there any types of dishes that are not local to you right now that you'd like to try?
I don't know. I feel like where we are, there's a lot of options for a lot of different things. So I think off the top of my head, I don't know.
Huh.
I think I struggled to find good barbecue where I am.
You're in California.
Yeah.
Now, have you been to Texas?
No, but I have family who just moved there, so I told them already, like, I want to have good barbecue down there.
Is it Dallas or Austin?
Closer to Austin.
Closer to Austin?
Yeah.
So you might be in Franklin's territory.
I think my brother has actually mentioned that before, yeah.
That is kind of the gold standard in this country when it comes to anyone who talks about barbecue. Is that right, Ed?
Oh man, come on, dude. Really? Texas? Get out of here.
What do you mean? Texas
You got some Kansas City boys right here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I should have known better.
We're leaving on 3?
Yeah, we're gonna leave it on 3 because we're gonna have these fettuccine type noodles.
Okay.
Now you get to cut the pasta.
Ah, okay.
Right? Now what's gonna happen is it's gonna be a bit different. We're just gonna remove this crank, okay? And then essentially have that here. Now the difference is, however, it goes that side.
Okay.
So,
okay, great.
would you like to feed the pasta this time?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could try.
So if you join me over here, what you're gonna do is, it's a delicate hold,
Yeah.
and always just be cognizant that you're just kind of laying it in. And what I'm gonna do, if I may, I'm going to essentially bring it out. Alrighty? Now we're gonna cut it down, and this is our fettuccine block. Let's see here. That's gonna be hard. Raise your arm a little bit higher, and then feed it. Yeah.
I will stand like this.
I'm sorry, try not to hit your hand. There we go. Yeah.
Oh,
Sweet. Okay. And there is your fettuccine noodles.
Nice.
Go ahead.
Hooray.
And normally you would dust it with even more flour, just like that on the top. I use string in my house and essentially connect it from like the fridge to the wall to this to that and the other place, and just hang pasta until it's dried all day. However, the trick here is what you can do is make a little swirl. And a
swirl?
Yeah, so, and then just make sure it just kind of drapes around itself. And then you have a portion of pasta done.
Great.
A little bit more there, and boom, you're good to go. You aced that. I had no
Cool.
doubts.
Ah.
So yeah, that is our
neither.
portion of pasta. We're gonna be taking a short break in just a minute where I'm going to make the final dish and finally let you eat. You've been so patient with us. I appreciate that. I feel like I am really impressed with everything we've done so far. So hopefully this dish gets to tie it all together. We'll be right back in a moment for final dishes and a little chat as we sit down. Excellent.
Great.
All right, the water's bubbling and boiling, the pasta has been made, and we're about to dig into this amazing plate Andy and Ann put together. But while we get our table set, we want to remind you to tune in this Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific for our new show, Crown Cosplay, with the sweetheart Alicia Marie and special guest mentor Casey Renee. They have a new batch of contestants to see who can make it to the finals at TwitchCon. But enough about them. We're so hungry, so we'll be right back to finish up this dish and chow down.
We're here for the tryouts.
I don't think you understand. This is the All-American League.
We're pretty all-American.
Who was that?
I'm a pitcher, and you need me.
Everybody on the team has to have a job at the factory.
They don't get to decide if this is real or not. We do.
Let's go!
Cargo's ready. Taking damage.
So we got him.
Let's do this.
Governor's letting you out because of the coronavirus.
What the hell's a coronavirus?
You can stay at my mom's place for a couple nights.
You're living under my roof.
You'll have to join my crew.
I took the liberty of writing up a list of douchebags in the area.
Do you think she's crazy?
You don't spend 26 years in prison without learning a few things.
We've become almost like a family.
Not bad.
Okay, everybody, we're still in here arguing about what the best barbecue is. Okay, this is still an ongoing argument. This will not be decided within the course of a couple minutes between everyone in the studio. Eddie's got these crazy ideas that tri-tip is... Oh, it's cute, actually. It's kind of cute. I have the mic! And, you know, but Kansas City barbecue is obviously the superior barbecue. I think there's no debate here. I think that's pretty much a conclusion that we can all agree on, that Kansas City barbecue is the best barbecue. And are you talking about that sweet? It's the sweeter, the nice kind of molasses, and you're getting some burn-ins. Good stuff. Argue in the chat, everybody, but I'm correct. This poll that you see is for what is the second best barbecue. Second best barbecue. We already know what the winner is for best barbecue, so there's no point in having a discussion about... Yeah, that's it. Yeah, definitely number 3 winning that one. Eddie, good choices there. Good choices. Everybody knows what's up. Everybody knows what's up. Everybody knows what's up. on you, buddy.
Just doing a quick pasta toss with the persimmons, the duck confit, and as promised, lots of butter. Okay. Lika, what do you think? Big plate still?
I love a big plate.
Alrighty. I almost vetoed, but we'll go with it. And yeah, I'm okay with this.
Oh my god. Dude, that looks so good. Oh.
And he looks like a master chef right now.
Don't ever tell Gordon that, please. Okay.
Shadow wants to know how it smells.
Delicious.
How's it smell?
I said like heaven. Sweet and
I
rich.
smell the sweet.
Rich, real rich, yeah.
I feel like Jack's probably getting it the worst because everything rises.
It's all just right here.
Excellent. Okay. Awesome. I think I am good. I just need a moment to get ready for seating. How much time do I have?
Oh, we're just following you. You're good.
Okay.
We're on you.
Just give me a 30-second cut and I'll be right at table.
Oh no, we'll follow you.
Don't follow me to the bathroom.
We're gonna go back to Wait Street. We're gonna set this and go back to Wait Street.
This is camera right?
Yeah.
Okay.
On top of the fruits. There we go.
Oh,
Delicioso.
what the hell?
Wow.
Okay.
Woo! I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Oh, devolved one, you think we are only... We do this show just for you. This show's just for you. You're the only viewer that matters. You're the only viewer that matters. You're the only viewer that matters, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're about to go right back to the table and finish out the last segment of the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mixed Plate. Thank you for joining us. If you are just joining us for now, I am Chef Andy. This is the all-powerful Ammunition. Okay, that's the last one. I swear. This is Ammunition, someone who I've had the absolute pleasure and honor of working with within the industry, providing as much support as I possibly could over the years, and seeing you become, frankly, one of the most iconic creators in the history of this industry, and I want to make sure you know that's exactly how I feel.
Thank you. That's some high praise. Thank you.
I will openly say that type of sentiment around your content and what you've done is not just me. I guarantee you that several other game developers in the world, as well as publishers and marketing folks, would absolutely agree. And I hope that isn't weird. So I was really happy to have you on. And I feel like it has been the type of journey that I've always wanted to take with the folks that I've worked with. Most importantly, trying my best to represent the nature of the show, which is telling your story, but more importantly, taking the audience and yourself on a journey of your past, your present, and hopefully your future, and making sure that as we start to tell some of those stories, that you've given the audience an opportunity to learn a little bit more about you. And I'm not sure if you've shared anything that they didn't know for the first time, but as this food's slowly torturing you, I'm not sure if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have a good kind of mix of different things, right? Like, this to me feels like the very like American side of my family, you know, like the like Eastern European and like American. My mom came from New York, like upstate New York. And then my dad is, from South Korea, and so I had a lot of like bulgogi growing up. And this is a very interesting, it's like bulgogi duck confit with pasta, which is an interesting, because normally you would have just like a giant bowl of rice.
Yep. And no kimchi.
Yeah, I'm not big on kimchi. So, and then this is like a very French dessert. So it's a very eclectic mix of things, but I feel like that is a good example of kind of where my life is now. So
it's very gracious to hear, and I appreciate you sharing a little bit more about yourself. And I think we're gonna start to eat now. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna slowly and methodically, I'm just kidding, I'm going very quickly.
You can eat at your speed. I'm digging
I'm going to just pass it over, bring that dish over there. We got another chance to plate it over. I'm just gonna let you have the whole thing. I've got this one right here, and I'll bring that back over in a second. So as mentioned, this is the, okay, I'm screwing this up. Someone tell me how to pronounce this correctly. Dice?
You do Donkatsu or
Donkas.
Or
Donkaseo. Donkaseo. That's
Donkatsu.
Yes, Donkaseo. Yeah, I want to make sure I don't butcher proper names. It drives me insane. Please dig in. Go right ahead. Now, with this particular dish, the idea is to have a very aggressive and pungent and really pop in your mouth flavor that comes from this particular dish. As we spoke, you mentioned that a childhood dish of yours was this exact same type of pork cutlet with probably a few more basic seasonings and artichoke soup. And
it was definitely more liquidy, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go with something a little bit more forgiving. So first bite, what goes through your mind, aside from the very honest opinion and very fair opinion of the pesto earlier?
I mean, I really like that the artichoke pesto salad on top is just as like good on its own. It's not like you have to have them both together, otherwise one suffers. It's like they're both just really good. So.
Good to hear. Now, if I may, we put some limes next to the pasta dish, but we'll hold off on this one. I'm going to hand you my lemons and ask you to do a before and after. Give yourself a solid squeeze of lemon over that dish. Oh, and eat when I write.
I'm gonna try this bite specifically. I put a lot of lemon on that one.
Oh, nice, okay. A better pop? It needs the acid. That's good to hear. Now, granted, while this is something that I kind of created with my own weird Frankensteinish kind of thing, I'm really open to interpretation. And since you're someone who cooks at home, I'm curious, what would you do differently? What do you want to try in the future? And that's what cooking's all about.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a deep fryer at home, so that part would be a bit difficult. The artichoke and pesto, just by itself, I think would be very good on a lot of other things. My partner also is vegetarian, and so this kind of thing, I would make for myself, and maybe we would make her something else. But it would be cool to be able to have this part of it that you can put on, you know, like both dishes,
I
right?
see.
Because sometimes we'll do that where we'll make like common elements, and then I'll have a protein and she'll have, you know, something else.
That's
so
good to hear.
yeah.
So you really are just like always kind of changing and flowing through different dishes just to kind of cater to folks. It's actually really kind of you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's normal.
It's not. I found that a lot of folks have less of an open mind when making different dishes, especially our parents. At least my parents were.
Okay.
It was kind of like that. So it's good to hear you're open to that.
Yeah,
Now, we're going to move on to the next dish,
Okay.
if I may. Okay. Now, normally I would say we'd go from the second dish we made, but we're not going to do all that because that's obviously dessert, and I think you'd be mad at me. Yeah, no. Okay. Just kidding. No. Okay. So wait, do you want me? Do we have to go cake next?
I mean, I already played the video because that was on our list.
Oh, I'm so sorry. See, guys, I'm. Okay, so so we're going through the duck dish, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's my fault, Chad.
I was gonna say I don't want to eat pork and then cake and then pasta.
I had a feeling I was just like, we didn't make this
Steak
through.
knives.
Yes.
The meat, but
Oh, I was gonna challenge you to actually eat with just knives. I'm just kidding. So.
Oh, good.
Alrighty, so I'm going to bring this over to you, and actually I just need a little bit of assistance. Thank you. So this dish, the fresh pasta that we just created, the duck confit that's been marinating. We took about 2 days to make the duck confit, and then we made the bulgogi-inspired spices, and then essentially just soaked that overnight with a little bit of the duck fat. So all of the fat that's just coming is just from the duck. And then I finished the dish with some butter to add that extra layer of richness at the very end. And yes, I am a big fan of butter. Kerrygold is the only one that we should use. So please feel free to dig in. I'm gonna have a smaller bite here. And this dish was my attempt to kind of bring in some of your favorites, kind of show you that I'd love to know a little bit more about you as an individual, but also get the chance to really expand your horizons and what the food you make by bringing in some of your favorites and then completely remixing them. So those persimmons are local to where you live, actually. And they are really great for that earthy, rich kind of tone. However, the lime is there to kind of bring it right over the edge. So that acid kind of brings it in. So if you like to squeeze lime, go right ahead.
Yeah.
But I would love to hear your thoughts.
First bite without the lime was very good. I love duck. It's such a good protein. It is very like fatty, but I don't know. Who cares?
I think we all need to get over a little bit, right? Now, have you had a little bit of the persimmon?
I will find a piece because there's one right there, I think. Or no. Is that persimmon? Yeah, that is.
Now we'll assist there as well.
Yeah.
That chocolate interior inside the persimmon always throws me off a little bit, but it lends itself well to a char. So I charred the persimmons in the duck fat first. Feeling it?
I think I could eat that like every day until I got sick of it, you know. That's a problem.
That is really very, very Sorry, I'm actually a little speechless with that because I am often when I'm cooking, I will hide from first and second bites. I will just wait till the whole meal's over. I just can't help it. So having to torturously watch somebody eat my food in front of it is just like, I don't want to be here. I can't help it. Ask anybody who eats with me, I actually tend to not eat when I cook. Actually, if you know some folks in the streaming world, I've cooked for any of them, and they all yell at me for it. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. That means a ton. Now we have time. You can keep on eating if you'd like to, and I don't want to shove a cake in your mouth immediately. So I do have some additional questions for you.
Okay.
While you just chew through it.
Yeah.
So.
Could you pour me some water while we?
Oh, absolutely. Happy to do that. Oh, so nice to see someone drinking water on this show. Jesus. Yeah, I'm judging all of you.
You're getting called out. They're gonna be mad when they hear that in a couple seconds.
Oh. Only one person. Gotta love that delay. Hydrate. Also, thank you to our lovely water pitcher. I don't know why the lines are on it though, but I'm getting distracted. So, my last question to you is this. You had the chance to go to the White House. I remember that event extremely well. You had the chance to kind of work with lots of folks who had likely been streaming for a long time, been creating content for a long time, but there were lots of folks probably looking at you in that moment. And more often than not, I imagine you've been asked the same question over and over again of what would you tell people who are up and coming? But instead of that question, I'll ask you this. What matters most if you're going to be in this world of content creation, live streaming, or at the very least, community engagement at your stage?
What matters the most?
Yes.
I don't know. I feel always weird giving advice, especially to other content creators who, I'm not like the biggest content creator. You know, there's plenty of names of people that are like, you know, up on billboards in Times Square and that kind of thing. And I think they're very successful for a reason. You know, they have like found their success through their hard work and through their personalities. And I think many of them are very, very kind people. And I think that is like something that I sometimes you'll see content creators who are maybe not as nice. And I think I like to highlight those people who are really, they're very successful, but also they have not lost touch with just being a regular human. I think that's very important. And as I've seen content creation kind of change over the years, because I've been doing this for like 8 years, you know. I think we sometimes can lose a little bit of that as it becomes more mainstream and more popular, and it's just, you know, people see it as an avenue to become successful rather than something that they love to do and just love to share with people. And yeah, I think that's just the most important thing, is remembering to be kind and to be human to you know, everyone, no matter how successful you are.
I want a round of applause for that. Thank you. It's hard for folks to remember to be people, right? There's still individuals behind the camera. There are still people who have sacrificed everything to even get to where they are, and to forget that, no matter how big you get, is probably a bigger mistake. Now, what we're going to do is, for the sake of the chat who's pining for this, you do not need to eat this cake right now. Enjoy your dish. But I'm going to show you what the insides look like. If I may, actually, could I get the offset? Actually, yeah, the knife is fine. No, bring the knife. It's fine. I'm gonna cut another piece. I'm just gonna turn this really quick. This is Kiara. Just so folks can see inside. Okay, I'm gonna cut first. Oh yeah. This is what's coming home to you.
Oh boy, it's a big cake.
I know you're taking yours home. I wouldn't do that to you. I mean, you can have it if you want to. But. Alrighty. Now I just want to separate this piece here. And there it is. Wow. And that is a strawberry. Ooh, no!
It's okay. It tastes just as good on the side.
It is now on its side. And yes, L of the day. Oh my gosh. I had to feel like I'd screw that up. But we're saying strawberry fraisier. I called it Frasier. But now I'm asking, are we saying strawberry?
What?
Jack, was that you? Well, yes. Okay, so strawberry cake, yeah. Because every recipe reads as strawberry fraisier.
Because the recipe, they'll say a strawberry fraisier cake.
Yeah.
And you're you're just saying a strawberry cake. I see.
It's Mario, yeah.
Yeah.
No, now I can't get that out of my head.
Fraisier.
So I would ask, before if I take my own bite, would you like to take a bite?
I would love to take a bite, yes.
I said we're gonna have coffee before we get going, but go right ahead. And I'm gonna say, it's best if it's on your dish. I'm not supposed to be having much sugar, so I'm going to avoid it for now.
I will have your sugar for you.
Thank you. Legit?
Yeah.
Now, you've had this cake before.
Yes.
Did you have it in France?
No, unfortunately I have not.
Okay.
But it's on the list.
Okay, so heading out to France and doing that way. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I really do hope that you love the cake that you take home. And Lori, I hope you love that cake. I'm really excited about that. I feel like this has been one of my favorite sets of meals to make because I got to really break out of my comfort zone in some areas and I got to try a few new things. I do badly hope that you have the opportunity to try even one aspect of this. I know you're going to try the cake for sure, and hopefully later you get the chance to show us how your cake came out via social. It's up to you. If not, say screw it all. I don't mind. So we're good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very fun episode. Thank you for joining us today. We've had the chance to go through so many different dishes, but we've also had the chance to ask you what your mixed plate is. And right now, over time, we've had the opportunity to have folks say, "This is my dish!" ! Sorry, incorrect. Hashtag my mixed plate on social media. If you want to share your dishes with us, share your stories with us, please go right ahead. Do not juggle knives. And we would love to see what you create and hear some of your stories. Again, hashtag my mixed plate. Tag myself. Do you want them to tag you or do you want not want that kind of attention? Yes. Yeah, tag in and follow us and you get the opportunity. Thank you to the Crown Channel. Thank you to everybody else.
Tell the people watching.
Oh, Lord. He's back.
When you tweet out with hashtag MyMixedPlate, make sure that you don't @Crown Channel without a period or something said before it, because then it's like you're messaging them. So just tweet out hashtag MyMixedPlate. Show us your food. We want to see it. Make something in the kitchen. We want to see it. We'll put it on screen like you just saw, but you gotta tweet right.
He scares me, and I do everything everything he says. That is your custom mixed plate box and to-go bag. Your brand new Crown Channel tumbler. Everyone, this has been a fantastic experience. Thank you so much, Anne, for joining me. Thanks for being patient with us today. Thanks for eating with me. It's
Thank
been
you for
fantastic.
having me.
Thank you. And folks, we will see you next week, every Tuesday, 4 o'clock Pacific. Twitch.tv/Crown Channel. We are good to go. Enjoy the rest of your evening and let us know what you make.
All right, everybody else dig in. Everybody, you guys can eat.
No, I never said you could eat today.
Get out of here.
Let me know when mics are off.